Hello everyone, TWR Studios here, and it's time for another part of the TWR 2022 review. So, I've reviewed all the engines. Now I have to review the destinations and sets, which is gonna be difficult. Trust me, it was around $300 to be able to buy all the engines, and I'm not really willing to spend around another $200 just on the destinations, mostly because some of them aren't really the best. The reason that I'm saying this is just, I don't really know. This isn't really my favorite, and I definitely like the previous destinations for some of them, but let's talk about them somehow. So I'm just going to be talking about pictures on the internet. Maybe one day I'll come back to these, but we'll just have to see. Let's start with the destinations. First up is the Knapford Station Passenger Pickup Playset. That's right, not Knapford Station, the Knapford Station Passenger Pickup Playset. What a creative name. Knapford Station. It's basically the biggest station other than Vickerstown in the show. It's like seen in every season. So, you have to make a good toy out of it, right? Wooden Railway failed at that this year. This, honestly, is the worst Knapford Station ever. The original one was better. So, let's talk about the rolling stock first. We have this cute little baggage car. I'll talk about the baggage system later, it's not my favorite. We have Annie and Clarabelle, who are literal toasters, and they look very ugly. Man, they did not treat the rolling stock good for this new line, did they? And then we have the station itself. It has many issues. A lot of the destinations look really clunky, and a lot of this stuff looks a little weird, and there's also a complete baggage system, which honestly makes zero sense, and I wish never existed, because I just don't see that working in an actual Knapford station. However, I have to also say that this is actually a mix of All Engines Go and the CGI series. That's what this line, I think, is aiming for, so I can see why. But I like a lot of the little details in Knapford Station, like the benches. They also have the little crossing gates, or whatever you call them. Yeah, they were on the 2013 Knapford, they're still not my favorite thing. And the switches are honestly really helpful for layouts, and if you want to access these platforms, which is a plus, I'll say. Overall, not really the best Knapford Station. I can easily just still use the old version and get a lot more out of that. Next up, we have Brendam Docks, and this one has a lot more positives. First of all, let's talk about Cranky. Now, he has a few little missing paints a little bit around the area, but honestly, that doesn't matter compared to his coolest feature. While he's really big, he also has two accessories that can hook onto his magnet. One is a grabber, so you can grab cargo, which is very helpful, so that means you don't have to use hair clips anymore. And secondly, the engine lift thing, whatever you call it. Honestly, I'd get Brendam Docks just for this thing alone. It's honestly the best thing in this new line, because there's so many more remakes and story opportunities you can have with this thing, and I really like it. The cargo car, standard. The cargo itself, it's decent. Cranky's details look really nice. Bulstrode, yeah, he's massive, and I really like that. I just wish that there was more detail. And we have the dock itself. Honestly, the dock itself really is able to help expand layouts and all that. We also have a Mail adapter, as well as some Thomas Wood adapters, which probably will be out of this line in the next year, because why do we have this wooden railway? How good did Wood do? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, Brendam Docks honestly is good. It's got its faults, but honestly, I really like it. Next up, let's look at the sets. First of all, we'll look at the Tidmouth Sheds starter set. Man, this one has a lot of bad things. We get a special edition Percy, which honestly he isn't special. It's just a different face variant, and really only hardcore collectors will go for that. Honestly, I'm not really in the need of that. We have a loop of track and some points, which also look really nice. We have some off-road ramps, probably only useful for Kevin. The turntable, which honestly is, not really the best thing. From photos I've seen, the big engines are barely able to fit on it. the big ones like Henry and Gordon, and the big ones like Henry and Gordon are barely even able to fit in the shed, which honestly I feel is a huge mistake because I think that you would want all your engines to fit in the sheds. But other than that, the sheds look really nice. I mean, it is based on All Engines Go, but honestly, I really like it. There's also some interior detailing. I don't know if there's any photos of that, but the interior detailing, from what I've seen, it looks nice. Overall, this set is not worth $100, which is how much it's priced for. And it's just not. I'm really not going to be buying this. I just don't really see the point of it. I will review the figure 8 set, but not in this video. I do plan on buying this one, so look out for that. Last, let's look at the track packs. First of all, Clickety Clack Track is back. After years of not having it, we finally have Clickety Clack Track again. I don't really know what it's like since I don't own any, but hopefully that can change. The first track pack is the Straights and Curves Clickety Track. For a beginner or a small layout, it honestly really does help, so I definitely recommend this if you can. However, those wood adapters, they're not really useful. And then we have the Expansion Clackety Track Pack. This one's honestly the better bargain of the two. Not only do you get a lot of the same things, but you get off-rail ramps, which is, again, for Kevin, and you get the most clever buffer design ever made in wooden railway, or just in any wooden railways made by other brands. The buffer is a male and female, or whatever you call it, and you can either put it on a female side or a male side. Honestly, this should have been real for the longest time. I do not know why it took them this long, but I'm so glad it's here. Maybe one day I'll get this, but definitely this one seems to be the better one. And that is it. Those are my thoughts. Again, I may get the figure 8 track set someday, but I honestly do not know. So we're just going to wait and see what happens. Now, we're going to be ranking every single TWR 2022 engine. This was pretty hard to do, especially the top one, because there are two vehicles that I really like. Anyways, let's begin at spot 18 with Kevin. Kevin honestly is the worst. I've said it. Honestly, why did they need to have him? They should have introduced him with Victor, and that's all I've really got to say. He's just a really bad model. Number 17, we have the Day Out with Thomas. And honestly, I put it this low. While I like the design, it's just a simple Thomas repaint, and I want a lot more things to be able to get higher on this list. Next up, in 16th place, we had the Troublesome Truck and Paint, and in 15th place, the Troublesome Truck and Crates. These are really big and ugly, and I really don't think that I would see me using them, really. But hey, they are really useful for goods trains, so that's a plus. Number 14 is Toby. His shape is really just what puts him so low down on this list. If the shape wasn't the way it was, it definitely would be higher. Next up, for number 13, we have Nia. Nia honestly isn't really one of my favorites. I like how she looks in a few areas, but honestly, the model that I got, I didn't really like. Plus the purple cab glow, for some reason, I have no idea why they even make that. She honestly could have been a perfect TWR original Nia, and I'm thinking I'm getting another Nia to be able to do that. Next up, we have James. James is still low on this list. I still don't like him, but he's in 12th. I've had a little bit more of a respect for him because, yeah, some of the other ones were a little bit more bad than I thought. In 11th place, we have Rebecca. Honestly, if her face was changed and she had another tender wheel, she honestly would be higher. But because of those, she honestly does not get any higher. Next up, for number 10, is Kenji. Kenji's new to the actual wooden railway, so that's the reason I put him a bit lower. However, he's a really fantastic model. If they just added another wheel or something onto his coach, or made his coach longer, he would be a lot more higher. And number 9, we have Gordon. Gordon honestly is really great. Honestly, if you just want to change up the face, then that would be good. Number 8, we have Rosie. Rosie, I did say, had a few issues, but actually looking at some of her models, I've actually found that they have around the same issues. So honestly, Rosie's a bit more higher because she's honestly the best Red Rosie merch we have ever received. Number 7, we have Emily. She does look a little bit off in some places, including the boiler, but her wheel arch and a lot of her detailing make up for that. In number 6, we have the hero himself, Thomas. Thomas honestly is just Thomas. It gets the job done, and honestly, I really like how he looks. Definitely am thinking on using him a lot more. Number 5, we have Edward. Edward honestly has one of the best shapes in the range. If he just had a different face and a different tender, he honestly would be a plus in my books. Number 4, we have Hero. Hero honestly is a really great model. If they just change his cab, then that would be great. Make it a little bit longer. Number 3, we have Percy. Percy also is a great model. Really accurate shape. If they just change his face, then he honestly would be perfect. Now, who's going to be in number 2? Henry or Diesel? This was hard because both I really like, both are nice. However, for number 2, it's Henry. The only thing that's really holding Henry back is a little bit of his shape and his face. If his face wasn't the way and the shape wasn't that way, he would be number 1 for sure. But number 1 goes to Diesel. Diesel is basically the best engine in this range. I love this dude. He looks amazing from all angles. Detailing looks amazing. The face is amazing as well. I love the smug look still. And he kind of fits with the wheels. Definitely the best Diesel ever and the best TWR 2022 engine. And there you have it. That is my entire ranking of all the TWR 2022 engines. Now, we will be doing some comparisons for Wave 2 since I didn't do it really last time. First of all, the models that are better than their previous editions. They are Edward, Henry, Emily, and Kenji. Because they honestly look really nice, I'm definitely gonna be going with them. However, the ones that aren't as lucky are Toby and the Troublesome Trucks. I'd rather use the ones that I already have of each model, and that's really it. I mean, they just don't look as nice as the older models. Before the video ends, what's next? We know a few things are coming. The Thomas Wooden Railway Wikipedia says that there's a few All Engines Go things coming out, along with a McColl's Farm set, and a few more track packs. We're also getting a train table, but yeah, I don't really care about that right now. But honestly, I'm excited to see where this line goes, and I'm excited to see what characters are introduced. Speaking of which, the characters I really want to see, and probably have a very likely chance, are Salty, Spencer, Young Bao, Hong Mei, Shane, Sunny, Whiff, and Flying Scotsman. The one I'm really hoping for is either Salty or Shane. Salty, honestly, is a must-have. I really think that he would be a great addition and honestly should be in this line since Brendan Docks is out. And then there's Shane. Shane got every other merch except for a wood model, and I feel this new Wooden Railway line can give him some light. I mean, they did have an Australian episode basically every Brubba season, so I mean, he does have a chance, and he appeared in a lot of them. Characters that I don't think are very likely but I would really like to see are Duck, yes, I'm biased. How'd you know? Bill and Ben, Diesel 10, wow, what rhyme, that's so funny. Some Express coaches, and Audrey and Aiden, the Australian coaches, cause yes, I am biased, again. For destinations, maybe you want to see an Brendan Docks expansion so you can add Carly, and maybe the Vicarstown Station. Maybe better than the one that we got in Wooden Railway. And that is it for this part. I might get one more part out, but we'll have to see where it goes. But until the next video, I'll see you guys later.